Boom, and we're live. Greetings world. How you guys doing? So welcome to week 49. Oh man, it's been a rough week, hasn't it? It really has. So, before I dive into it, I just want to quickly talk a little bit about how to approach this entire market, or at least how I am approaching it. So, with that being said, let's just hop into Bitcoin right now. So hey, with Bitcoin, it's pretty simple. Like when it comes to the major pivot zones, which is this one, um, so far it looks like we are printing a higher low. Of course, that's not going to be confirmed until we have another low, but for now it looks okay. Like as long as we are above this, it's all good. Like we can still be bullish. We can do 100% retracement, break out, and continue up. It's possible. It's not looking the best. Like of course, the best part would be if we bounced somewhere over here, but that didn't happen. So we'll see what happens. I would not be surprised if we had some kind of price action around here and we maybe um, went deeper for a bit, to rate some stops because there's going to be a lot of liquidity here. There's going to be so many stop losses. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that happening. Like usually when we have the spike, those get filled. It's just going to take some time. Um, for now, I would really like to see something at least to go here to maybe print a lower high. Like ideally higher high, of course, but lower high could be cool. Still for a correction, like A, B, C. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, for those who got caught in this entire massacre and they're still in positions, I got caught in a couple because I only have a few positions on centralized exchanges and the rest is on DEXs, so I got pretty wrecked as well, which sucks. But in case that happened for you, you should really be looking for exit pumps. By that, I mean you should check some current resistance and just sell at it and wait for a better setup. Look, I don't mind if, for example, let's say this is an arbitrary chart of whatever. I don't mind if I sell over here, but price actually goes higher, because then I can buy a bullish setup again when I have some kind of confirmation that the market is actually heating up and wants to go higher. But for now, it's lower lows, it's lower highs. It's not looking too good. And until we at least break out of the structure and at least create a higher high, then yeah, I'll gladly jump in. But before all that happens, I'm not interested. I just want to be out. I want to be in stables or maybe in Ethereum because Ethereum looks pretty good. So we'll get into that. So when you check Ethereum, like compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has just been having an organic, well, kind of panicky price action to the bottom and like breaking support after support. Ethereum, on the other hand, is just refusing to make a low low. So it made this high, it made this low, and now it's closing above this level all the time, right? Showing really good relative strength and maybe a potential decoupling from Bitcoin, at least for now. And we can also see that on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, which is, by the way, printing new highs here. Broke out of this structure here, which was, I don't know, probably some kind of flag, and looks like it wants to go up. It even broke this pivot, which is really nice. So I would expect Ethereum to maybe go to 0.12 finally. And with that, maybe the tide is going to rise for some altcoins and we might see some positive price action. But yeah, we'll see. So I have a lot in Ethereum right now as opposed to being in stables because it simply looks pretty good. And it's just another trade I'm willing to take because of the relative strength compared to Bitcoin. Okay, and with that all being said, let's jump into the the gems. So first up is Warp. I'm not going alphabetically this time, I'm just going normally. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to be talking about current plans that we have. If we want to see some kind of bullish continuation, I really want to see a higher high, and I actually drew these charts 2 days ago, but I didn't get to do the video because I'm kind of busy now. But since then, we had this entire price action. I think this whole thing has printed newly, and that has given us a new high over here. So right now we can use this high, and we can change the plan a little bit. Um, so anything that breaks from here and also the high and returns could be a buy. I want to have that in green, by the way. Yeah. So here, right? This looks pretty good. And when it comes to where you should buy or where there are options to buy, of course, it depends on risk appetite. But lately, I've been really trying to get the best confirmation that I can. So if you buy over here, what you're saying is, okay, I'm going to buy the breakout of a higher high. If you buy over here, the breakout already happened, which is really good, and now it's retesting. And if you buy over here, which means that you have some kind of, you have the impulse, you have the corrective structure, and then you would buy the breakout of this entire structure, that's, in my opinion, probably the best approach. And here's what, when we are in really bullish conditions and everything is flying, I think buying here is the best. Unless, of course, it pumps too high and yeah, then it doesn't make sense from a risk to reward position, and you would be looking to buy uh, the retracement, the pullback. Buying the pullback is like a safer way, but you have to understand that there's the risk that it's going to run away from you. So if you're in hyper bullish conditions, it's always good to buy the breakout because most likely you're not going to get a very deep retest for which you're waiting. And buying the breakout of the retest structure, that's the safest one for like transitions when the market is not looking very good, like it is right now, when there is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. If you want to really go long in such a sentiment in such a market, you should wait for the most confirmation possible, and that's buying here. So I would say let's wait for this one. Anyway, seems like this support over here held pretty well. So we can now use this as new support, make that green. And yeah, if we break, now we're range bound, right? Between here 250 and something around what 380. And depending on to which side it breaks, then we can make some more assessments. But for now, we're ranging, and we're definitely not interested in buying because for now this is just a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, just going down. And until proven otherwise, this will continue, and this could easily just go way, way, way lower. So that's something we need to realize and something we need to prepare for. Okie doke. That was a little lesson on warp, I guess. Let's check ROOK. Okay. So hey, as long as we are above this green level, the 125, we're bullish, right? Because we have a higher high over here, and now we're retracing this move. And as long as we are above the 100% retracement, we still have very bullish potential. However, for now, it looks like we're kind of forming a range here. And if we see a break from that range to the upside, just like marked in this scenario, then we could be interested in either buying here or buying here, depending on the overall sentiment of the market, I guess. So yeah, that's ROOK. As for Melon, yeah, it looks like this support is holding for now. And if we can manage to break out of this structure over here and create a higher high above this, then buying the retest makes a lot of sense. But yeah, if we break the support, I expect to revisit over here, maybe even lower, like maybe even price discovery to the downside. But we'll see. I kind of expect this to break out. I wouldn't be buying the breakout though. I probably wouldn't be buying this breakout either. You know, like if this actually goes here, our targets are somewhere over here. Like these levels will be targeted, or even newer highs could be targeted. Just one sec. Someone's calling me again. Oh, and I hate doing this at work. Okay, so what I'm saying is, we don't actually need to jump in and be the first in the move. We really don't. This should be a green. If this all happens, that looks very bullish, and we can just enter somewhere over here and take massive profits on the way up on a well-defined, well risk-defined setup. So there's definitely no need to hurry. Like right now, if you're sitting in stables, it's good. It's really good. So yeah, that's melon. Okay, NFTX seems to be breaking this support it made over here. Like let's check the lower time frame. Um, yeah, looks like it broke it. Uh, that means we're probably gonna revisit over here. I mean, it can pump back within the next one or two candles, sure. But if it doesn't, I would expect to revisit the lows because essentially we are breaking back into this range. There's one more thing that I just noticed over here. Maybe this order block. Okay, is that green? I think it is. Yeah. So, okay. If this manages to hold, it can bite into it a little deeper, no problem. But this is the support zone, right? This was resistance on the way up every time it got a little deeper in there, but eventually it managed to break, right? So here, let's just give it a little more space before calling this a super bearish chart. But let's say if this happens, let's just move it a little bit. If this happens, then yeah, I think we're gonna see new lows. But for now, I would kind of expect this scenario to play out. So if we get a higher high above here, then buying the retest makes a lot of sense in my opinion. We'll see what happens. By the way, like lots of the charts I'm going to be talking about today look pretty much the same. We have some kind of corrective structure approaching support, and we are waiting for a higher high and a retest. That's just what's gonna happen. Okay, bang. Ooh, that's a nice hammer candle over here. Right at support. And let's see what this does. I mean, if we go lower, then yeah, it's probably revisiting all-time lows. If we break that too, yeah, we will go even lower, you know. But for now, looking okay. Um, I would like to see, depending on the market, I would like to either see this high broken or maybe even this high, and then buying the retest or the breakout of the structure. We'll see. Really, we'll see depending on what the market looks like. But overall, this scenario makes a lot of sense. We just need to remain patient. Remark is a beast, man. Remark is a beast. Had such a nice recovery, and honestly, I'm trying to snipe Remark. I'm trying to wait. Right now we have this high of 55. This is old. Like, let's change that. And I would even go as far as saying I would be buying the breakout because this has been so strong. This isn't a lower low, this is an equal low at best. It's just a peekaboo. Doesn't matter. Let's call all of this equal lows and lower lows here. So if that breaks to the upside, then yeah, I want to be in because this can continue. Like you should always be buying into strength. And I analyzed this several times already in the past weeks. This has given so many beautiful setups. I mean, this was the best setup in history ever. This breakout was a good setup. This breakout was a good setup. Everything's working fine. So now if we have a breakout over here, then yeah, I'm gonna be buying, especially since it's on a centralized exchange and can put my stop loss over here, for example, or maybe even over here. We'll see. But yeah, Remark looks pretty good. Still, we're patient. We're waiting. RGT looks like shit, doesn't it? Let me check the daily. Yeah, you know, lower lows, lower highs. Right now, if this closes below here, then yeah, I would expect way more retracement. Potential, uh, wait, potential bullish setup is over here, and I would say over here. That's like the safest one, but we can't tell just yet. Uh, wait, I need to change my status on at work that I'm in a meeting, even though I'm not. Okie doke. Right, so Maple. Um, So yeah, this entire area over here, which was the supply block, resistance, resistance, support, is still acting as support. So the plan is very simple. If we lose this area, if we lose this level, then yeah, I expect to go lower. This should be red. And we need to break this area and retest it in order to continue higher. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, for now, just like with everything else, we need to be patient. This is no place to be buying, especially after these huge dips in Bitcoin where everyone is panicking. And I saw that recently on Twitter. Like, people who are fully exposed and they don't have resources to buy the dips, they only have one option left, and that is to survive, and that means to leave their positions. So usually after a big dip, we still see a continuous sell-off that doesn't have such momentum. You know, those are the people that they just want to get out of positions and they take exit pumps, creating more sell pressure. I mean, hey, I'm there as well. I'm right there with you. And the lesson here is to really never get into these positions again. And I talked about that several times by buying actual breakouts and not mindlessly DCAing in, you know? So yeah, just if you are in this position, I think it makes sense to sell these exit pumps. It really does, because you don't want to be exposed when the market is as uncertain as it is right now. If anything, buying panic dips makes sense, but right now I definitely wouldn't be buying. That opportunity is gone. Like when we saw those huge dips on several altcoins that maybe broke 70% downside or something, if you had some limits over there or if you were really quick at the PC, then yeah, you could have made money. But right now, you really want to be out. Same stuff with index. I mean, we have this corrective structure, we need to break it. And, this is looking pretty nice. I mean, this whole area over here, I guess I could maybe put something like a box here. Yeah, like this entire area has worked as support several times, and now it's been support again, and you can see this huge hammer candle, which is a nice first sign on good volume as well. That's pretty cool. So, um, after such a capitulation candle, what I want to see is first probably a higher high. So, although this is buyable, it's still really risky, and I don't want to do it in these market conditions. So buying here makes the most sense to me. And if we buy here and it actually holds, then the risk to reward is amazing. And yeah, it's gonna be something along the lines of there's gonna be some low under here. Yeah, that's looking really good. So yeah, let's wait for that. Here we have BIOS. This low kinda held as support. Broke a little lower, but was just a peekaboo. Wouldn't call it a lower low, would call it equal lows. So mm, yeah, I expect this to just range for a while. Anyway, if we lose this support that has just been created over here, then it's more downside, possibly all-time low, maybe even price discovery to the downside. But we need to break this high in order to have some bullish momentum going on, to have some signs of life that would convince us to enter. But right now, nothing. Same here with build, support area. This is a very, very nice setup, by the way. Like, this is a break and retest, and a pretty good one. We have a higher high over here compared to this one, and we have this accumulation zone to which it returned with a flagging return. So build looks kind of good, and the risk to reward is decent as well. If you feel like taking some risks, I think this is a good one. If you want to be safer, which I would highly recommend, you wait for this setup where we not only see a breakout from here, but we actually see a higher high. After all, this has been quite a lot of days of price action. So yeah, having a little more confirmation is always nice. Even if it's just buying maybe the breakout of the high, who knows. But I would wait for this one. Ooh, XFT looking nice. Hell yeah. Let me see on lower time frame. No, no, no. Lower time frame. Okay. So this was this little tiny breakout from the area, which didn't quite work because there was no volume, like no volume spike. Let's delete that. So yeah, cool. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. And I would like to see a nice corrective structure and then maybe buying over here or buying the breakout of the structure. Two possible scenarios. But still, I would be patient right now. Buying here, nah, probably not the best idea. Risk to reward is bad. So let's wait to see what it prints. This is definitely a chart to keep an eye on throughout the week. MINA. Okay. Corrective structure over here. Clear lower low. That is a clear lower low. And yeah, I expect downside. I really do. But for me to be proven otherwise, I want to see a break of this high and a retest from above. Very simple. Okie doke. API 3 is one I exited on this pump, like right here. Let's go to the lower time frame. Right here, I exited because I was like, nah, I want to be out. And if market proves me otherwise and does this green scenario, then I'll gladly buy back in over here or a breakout. I don't mind that. But for now, I want to be out. To be fair, this level seems to be quite important, and I would expect a bounce from here. But yeah, we'll see. It might as well just break down. I mean, imagine if Bitcoin decides to poop itself. Um, yeah, if it does, then I expect new lows all across the board. So for now, we wait. VISR, you piece of shit. Yeah. Pretty clear structure over here. We're quite a lot below the moving average, like quite a bit. I can't wait for this to bounce. I'm still not out, and I'm gonna be selling 150 resistance. And then I will gladly buy back on a retest of the high. But for now, yeah, what a shitty place to be in, man. Mm. And that's exactly like that's the problem. In the last cycle or mini cycle, whatever you want to call it, when stuff ran up and then crashed in May, um, my problem was that I was not selling, right? I was just watching things go all the way up and I got greedy and I was like, hell yeah, this is it, I'm gonna make it. And I didn't sell anything. And then it went down. I still didn't sell. I was like, hey, it has to bounce here. If it doesn't, oh, it has to bounce here. Maybe it has to bounce here. It doesn't have to do shit. It doesn't have to do shit. The market doesn't owe you anything. Like, if shit goes down and you don't leave in time, that's on you. And that's exactly what happened to me. I think I lost a shitload back then. But I gave myself very clear lessons and I was like, hey, next time this happens, I will be selling. I will be selling. And if I'm not, I'm a fucking retard. So I sold. And I sold quite a bit. Like, I'm very happy with the way I was selling. But this time, new lesson, I was buying back too quickly. So I actually sold 289 on VISR. I was out two-thirds from here. I think I had, yeah, something around 30% of the position left. So I took a lot of profits. I rotated that into warp. I took profits on warp. Everything was cool. The problem was I was just buying back too early. So the first place I would buy was here. And I was like, okay, that's gonna go up. It didn't. I didn't have a stop loss. I woke up maybe when it was here and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna sell on the bounce, but the bounce didn't really happen and it went lower. And I was like, okay, well, this looks like support. I bought again and it didn't do anything. It just went down again. And I just kept DCAing, expecting us to go up and nothing happened. So that is the main reason why I came with this adjustment to my system, that I actually like on these, even if we have a really bullish setup, right? Like let's say this bullish setup, even if we have that, like I'm not gonna be DCAing in until I see a breakout, which happened over here. Then I can buy. I don't mind buying higher if it means more confirmation and better odds. for myself, right? And for the trade. So I think this is very important. So from now on, no longer gonna be buying in and just lowering my average. No, I'm gonna be waiting for a clear shift of market structure when the market tells me, hey, pokes me in the eye, like, hey, this is looking good. I'm heating the fuck up. Buy me. At that point, I'd be willing to buy. And I- that's just how I plan on continuing my journey. And I think this is a very mm, risk. How to say this? How to properly formulate this? I think this is a very risk managed approach, well risk managed approach, and I would highly recommend it to everyone. Because in the long run, if you take better setups, which are happening all the time, by the way, if you just have the patience, if you take better setups, you're going to be way better off. So yeah, that's my biggest lesson for this one. And it just happened that I talked about it on VISR because that was my biggest fail. So yeah, hope you learned something. Hope you, I just hope you can learn from my mistakes. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go to MTA. For now, this support seems to be holding. I didn't include any drawings. So this is the high that needs to be broken, right? So I would like to see something along the lines of this and then buying over here. And we seem to have formed some kind of support here. Green, yeah. And if we break that, we're probably gonna revisit these lows. And yeah, if we break that, lower lows. It's just until proven otherwise, the trend will continue. I guess that's the name of the game. That's the name of the market right now. And until proven otherwise, we will just continue with this down structure and just keep printing lower lows, lower highs. And every every structure is eventually going to break to the upside, right? Unless rock pulled or I don't know, hacked, whatever. But that is why we have to be patient and we have to wait for those events to be there when it's important to score some home runs and to survive in the meantime. So from here to here, there's really nothing to do until we see this, right? Or the same setup somewhere again lower based on market structure. There's absolutely nothing to do. This is where you practice patience. And what I started doing is I started putting in alerts and I'm trying to spend less time on the charts. I will check it like once a day, but that's it. I don't want to stick to them at all times. It's not productive. I'd rather learn something new. But yeah, this is the setup. Man, glitch. Holy crap. So unfortunate. Like glitch looked really strong with the L1 narrative and everything. I got stopped out twice, but hey, that's okay. I mean, can't win them all. Uh, for now, okay, this is probably already a little changed. What is this? What is this? Okay, I'm just gonna delete that. I don't know what that was. Anyway, looks like we have printed a high over here right now, which is a beautiful SR flip. Let me just delete all of this. Oh yeah, beautiful SR flip from this support. This is the high. Lines up beautifully. And that's the current high that we need to break. So, is it though? Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. So at least this. That's the least we need to be able to see. And of course, the bearish scenario is if we lose this support we just created, we're probably gonna go lower. And there's some support over here. We might go even way lower. Like same story, right? Until proven otherwise, this is a downtrend. So yeah, patience. ONX looks like shit. Daily maybe. God damn it. So, hmm. I'm not having the best experience with drawing these super steep trend lines. Usually they don't mean shit, because there's gonna be something different, like a different structure printed later in the whole process. But I guess this makes sense. Yeah, this does make sense. And I guess you could argue this is the new high because this was support here as well. Yeah, it probably is. Okay, so that's the one we want to see broken and tested from above. So bullish scenario looks like this. Uh, yeah. And again, depending on the market sentiment and on Bitcoin and everything, we either buy the retest or we buy a breakout of the structure. And yeah, of course, the bearish scenario is that we continue down this way. A lot of these coins are just like range bound right now. Like going from downtrend to range or accumulation. That's kind of what is happening, what we see happening here. And this is a beautiful example, by the way. Like right now we are ranging between this green and red line, and eventually a break to either side is going to show us how we continue. And yeah, those are basically the, why is it in wrong colors? Those are basically the scenarios that I've drawn here. Yeah, we just gotta wait. APY, man, APY looked really good. Like, I think back over here, fundamentally, they changed that there's no more rewards. The final rewards got unlocked, and you can see that after they got unlocked, couple days later, it just dumped. So I would say that was the reason. Anyway, in technical analysis, I don't think we should be too concerned about this, because what we are concerned about is just price. And for now, we seem to have found support over here, and I would expect to revisit this range high and maybe range for a while. But eventually, we want to see this green scenario happening to turn bullish again. If we lose this support, yeah, it's new all-time lows, that's for sure. So yeah, this is not interesting to us at all. Wow, this is still holding, this trend line. It's still holding. And looks like an ascending triangle here. So the moment this breaks to the upside and retest, that's going to be an amazing entry. I mean, look how long this consolidation went for. Goddamn, 210 days or something. So yeah, if this happens, I would expect at least to go back here, maybe even higher. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, if somehow the market decides to go bullish, these setups are very, very beautiful. There is so much potential here, but we cannot be impatient. We just have to wait for these setups to print. Like, buying here and betting on a break is extremely stupid, in my opinion. Like, you're already taking a bet here. Why would you take a bet for a future bet? It just doesn't make sense. You always want to see confirmation, in my opinion. Okay, GYSR. Yeah, look, I mean, it's all the same. I don't want to keep repeating myself. If we lose support, we go lower. We need to break here and retest to buy in and potentially go higher. Nothing else to say to this. Okay, here's TCR. You know what? Like, I would be inclined to maybe buy this breakout because this is a very beautiful retest. I mean, a very beautiful flagging retest. We had this accumulation zone over here. We went high up and then we started flagging back. So yeah, if we could touch this and break out on high volume, I would be willing to buy this. This looks really good. But if that doesn't happen, here's the high, and that's what we need to break, right? We need to break it, return, then we can buy. Um, and this is the red scenario. But yeah, if we break this range high, we're probably gonna get back into the range. I can just mark the range up, I guess. We're gonna get back into the range and maybe range there for a while. But if we lose that one, oh man, that's gonna be price discovery to the downside. Nobody wants to see that. So yeah, that's TCR. RVST had a nice setup, but unfortunately didn't work. Hmm. Wait. I'm just wondering, what was it that I actually bought? Because this was another a little impatient trade from me. Uh, you know what? I actually don't remember. Was it here? No. But anyway, as you can see, there's still lower lows and lower highs, so nothing has changed. This is the current high, and if we want to turn bullish, we need to see this break and retest. If we lose support, we continue down, potentially price discovery. Hey, thanks. Yeah, nothing's changed. I mean, right now we're kind of ranging between this level and the red level, and we'll see what happens. I mean, either we go to the upside, and there's a couple of trades there, or we break to the downside, at which point I would expect to revisit this entire range, depending on where it goes. Like maybe this is an accumulation range. A little tough to see because these wicks look horrible. Not a very clean chart, but I would say maybe something along the lines of this. Let me see. Yeah, maybe something like this. So this is the range high. I would expect a bounce here. If we go deeper, we have a potential to continue ranging just like before and eventually maybe break up. If we lose this level, however, yeah, then it's bad. Then it's really bad. All right. Proton. Yeah, right now it's interacting with this rally base rally kind of demand zone. If we can see it bounce from here, right now it looks like support is held. So if we can see it bounce and break out here, then that's a pretty good sign. But the market conditions being the way they are, I would probably still wait for a higher high, which means this scenario. And of course, if we lose this demand zone, then we go lower. How low? I really don't know. I would say maybe all the way to here, like 6 cents. No, 6, what is this? Yeah, 0.006, whatever. So yeah, it wouldn't be too good. We're just waiting for breakouts everywhere, man. That's just reality of it. Let's check this one. Okay. Yeah, this is the high that needs breaking. I mean, this was nothing, right? This was just a wick. We want to see a real wave. Like, look at the waves here. This is a wave. This is a wave. That's a small wave. That's a decent wave. That's a big wave. We want to see something like that, you know? Like here, at least this is the smallest wave, right? So we want to see something like that. So if it breaks, we want to see actually some time in between and then buy. Like, let's say you see the breakout, you're going to be like, okay, well, let's see what it prints in 2 days. If in 2 days it does something like this, then great, you can buy it. But for now, nah, not interesting. Why are you loading so long, bro? What is this? Okay, so we lost this trend line, and now we are kind of retesting here. What is this? I don't really know. Um, but it's not looking good, in my opinion. Like, this was a valid trend line. Not only did we lose that trend line on this candle, we also lost the horizontal support on this candle. So I would expect this level to be resistance now, and I would just get the fuck out because this doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all, and I would expect these lows to be revisited. Anyway, if it should be bullish, you know, like this was, I was just drawing this for myself because this is the first thing that actually needs to happen, but I wouldn't be interested in buying that at all. Like, I'm still interested in buying this because this is a huge ascending triangle, which already broke to the downside, which is horrible. But if it somehow manages to bounce off of this support back into the triangle and then eventually break to the upside, then you know what? Yeah, we could be buying the retest. But for now, it doesn't look like it at all. Hey, nothing has changed with UNN. It's still the same story from last week, the week before, and the week before. You know, we are waiting for this. Yeah, nothing to say about that. And this is not interesting. And I think I missed a couple, like GMX. So with GMX, right now, lower lows, lower highs. What we want to see is at least a higher high above 3160-ish, and then a retest. So I can just draw it in, I guess. So I would say it's this level, and we want to not only break all of these trend lines, but also create a higher high and then maybe buy here. That's what we want to do. Uh, what else? What else? I think there's a couple more charts I need to go through because they were not on TradingView. Kampeki is one of them. Elixir is one of them. I think MOVR. Mm, STBZ. I don't even have to go through STBZ. It's a piece of shit. I think that's it. So yeah. Mm, okay. And I said I would paper trade this because I got the setup, but didn't work out. We are seeing possible. Well, I don't want to say it didn't work out. It still didn't close below this level, right? So it could do something, but not looking too good. And this was a really steep trend line, wasn't it? So let's see what it would do here. Mm, nah, nothing special. Maybe something along the line of this. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's very hard to have a bullish setup manifest when the entire market is taking a dump. Is what I would say. Uh, so yeah, right now we can see that price is having real big trouble breaking through this level. So you know what? The safest approach is probably to wait for that to break. So bam, that's the plan. Green. This is the plan. If we break to the downside, yeah, it's gonna go way lower. It's gonna revisit some lows of the YLD chart, that's for sure. But yeah, that's Kampeki. What's this one? Elixir. Elixir has just been dumping relentlessly, huh? Yeah. So the plan with Elixir is to see this high broken and retest it, then we can buy. If not, it's just gonna go down. And interestingly enough, right now we have this price, this order being attacked. So I'm kind of interested to see what's gonna happen, because that was a rally-based rally. So this base I would expect should hold, but we will see. We will see. Anyway, we're not gonna be interested in this one for a very long time. I think that's probably gonna range for who knows how long, and then eventually print this setup, and that's when we start getting interested. But for now, nah, wrecked. Okay. None of the bullish scenarios really happened. We just have a new lower low on the mover. So, I guess this is a nice retest. I mean, this little accumulation zone over here and this little head and shoulders retested. I mean, almost makes you want to buy this, but I'm not gonna buy it until proven otherwise. I'm just not. Um, so yeah, this was drawn based on this high. Now we have this high. So let's just delete a couple of things and redraw this, because eventually we want to see this happen, right? Yeah. So yeah, if that happens, I might be interested. I'll go as far as saying it's this level, because that was the previous low. This just didn't reach. A little bit more confirmation. So yeah, that's the plan. And until this breaks, until it makes a higher high, we just expect it to revisit the low, right, of 50 cents. And if that breaks, I don't even want to say what happens then. But yeah, that's that. So that's gonna be it for this week. I mean, the name of the game is to be patient and wait. Maybe take exit pumps, just like I'm trying to do. Just protect your capital, trade responsibly, I guess. Yeah, and I wish you all the best of luck and a good week. See you guys. Bye.